Hello and welcome to this week's episode of 95 Nerds with Robert Swathwood, Corey Urkel,
hello,
Katrina Swathwood,
hello,
and Anthony Smith.
Yo.
So we're here to talk about the 2020 Democrat debates. Are you guys know what's going on? Are you
still debating?
Yeah, right now. Right
they
at
had
this
the Nevada
second.
debate today.
Yeah.
Oh, really?
I'm just kidding. I'm not going to do that.
Well, they really did. So
I know.
Good old bait and switch.
I thought they just move on to caucuses, so they have debates.
not every state has a caucus.
Unfortunately, that would be fun.
No, it's not. It's a mess.
This fucking is such terrible things when
you shouldn't have to vote out in public.
No, it's not even that. When delegates are being given out with coin flips, there's a problem.
Yeah, it's such an old school thing. Like, okay, here, everybody gather around, walk into your corners, and then
turn around your sign. Yeah, no.
Yeah, it's like a game you play with kids.
And it's like you don't collect all the votes afterwards
they're
either.
They're playing rock, paper, scissors to fucking find out who gets what.
Right?
It's just terrible.
But then again, a whole like election with the
Electoral college?
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm a one person, one vote.
I agree. And then like if a state has 51 vote one way, 49 other way, it should not go all one way. So like right now, I think if the whole state is either red or blue. You get all the votes.
The electorates can vote for whoever they want to.
Yeah. That's not 100% true.
I thought once the state was like Democrat, Republican, like
no,
all those go.
Most of those people end up losing their jobs though. When they vote against what their
constituents want.
They don't ever like 99.9.
Just in the last election, I'm pretty sure some people got fired.
Oh yeah.
Don't quote me on that, but it happens.
That's a weird thing. They can do it, but they get fired for it.
Well, you are represented. You are been elected to represent your state, and your ballot is the one that counts for your state. So even though the people beneath you want somebody, you could choose somebody else.
That seems kind of funny. Have a computer do that job.
I think as of right now, I think that Republicans wouldn't want that because they've lost the popular vote several cycles in a row.
At one point in time, one party is not going to like that idea.
Yeah, I think it's taking over. I really wasn't going to talk politics, but I think the majority of the younger generation leans liberal, progressive, not necessarily Democrat, but more progressive. And it seems like that is a majority. And I'm not saying there isn't conservative young people, because there is.
There's a lot.
But there's a lot more liberal young people. And it's not, I'm not stating something that's not a fact. It's a fact by just seeing who's involved and who's turning out to these things.
I would like to see the numbers. That'd be interesting. Like compare it to like in age groups.
It's it's closer than you think. But I think a lot of young people are growing up now realizing, well, we're fucked. Like there's things that aren't right anymore that other countries are getting that we are not. And it's just because other countries aren't socialist countries, but they have socialist programs, and so do we. I mean, public school is a social, police, fire. These are
we have tons and tons of social programs.
Socialist programs.
I like the Gangs of New York version of fire brigades. I want them to fight each other for the honor of being able to put out a fire. That's the way it should be.
There's just a lot of things that are wrong, and there's no easy solutions. But I wasn't here to talk about politics.
What were you here to talk about, Robert?
Well, there's several things I want to talk about today. We watched Parasite.
We did.
Was it good?
Did you watch
it? Was really good.
Did you watch it?
No, I don't even know what it's about.
We'll touch on it. Oh, there's something in my ear. We'll touch on it. We watched All the Boys.
In preparing for it, did you get a parasite, by the way?
No, Katrina. She was sick for like six out of 8 weeks.
Congratulations.
That sucks.
It was the most sick I've seen you in.
I legitimately wanted to die at one point. I was just like, it would just be better if I did not wake up tomorrow.
Did you get the coronavirus?
Caprona?
Okay,
Did you just say Caprona?
I said Cabrona.
Cabrona.
It's a
no, I did not get the coronavirus.
The COVID-19 or 1N?
Yes, that one. I did not get that.
Or no, it's COVID-19. I know the call letters.
You ready for it?
I'm not worried about it.
I would expect you to be actually worried about it.
Yeah. So same thing with Katrina and Alan, and they're like, "What do you mean?"
That's a big statement from you.
No, I'm not worried about it.
Not yet, anyway, right?
For a while there, I thought BB had the coronavirus.
No, you should have got the black lung.
I got the black lung pop.
I was just going to make a really bad joke. No, I'm not worried about it.
Brown lung?
No.
Oh.
No. No, I'm not worried about it. I mean, it sucks what's going on in there. But,
You're always afraid of like Contagion, weren't you?
yeah, I'm No, Outbreak.
Outbreak. Okay.
Which is funny because it's coming to Netflix in March.
Can't wait.
Yeah, I'm real excited.
I've
about
never
it.
seen it.
We can watch it. I'm not afraid of it anymore.
Are
but-
you sure?
It's happening. Why be afraid of the movie?
Isn't it put you down a like shame spiral and go into minor depression that explodes?
It could.
Let's not do that. Then.
No, it's just really like nostalgia, but like horrible nostalgia.
No, thank you.
No, but I watched Parasite. We watched The Boys.
Mm-hmm.
Good. We'll touch base on
You
that.
didn't watch The Boys, did you?
No.
Okay.
We started just watching McMillions, which seems like it's going to be pretty good.
What's
Yep.
that on?
It's on HBO. It's a documentary on the guy who
Rigged
rigged the McDonald's
Monopoly
Monopoly.
game.
Oh yeah, I saw.
game. He ended up walking away with $24 million worth of stolen stuff.
Nice.
They said like
I don't know if it's nice.
Is it a documentary?
This is a documentary,
Yes.
but they are making a movie about it. I heard about it a couple years ago because Ben Affleck was writing it
mean,
and Matt Damon was going to star in it.
Did he rig it in a legal way, or is he just
no.
No,
Okay.
There's no legal
It
way to
wasn't like
rig
he
something.
moneyballed it, right? He didn't figure out
No.
the stats and figure out where they could be.
No.
No, this is a guy that was head of security for the people that were putting out the pieces.
The marketing group
Oh,
who
okay.
made the
Yeah, so
game.
Yeah,
He legit stole. Like,
is he in jail right now?
we haven't finished.
I don't
it,
know.
but I believe so.
Oh, so it's like making a murder where you don't know what happened when you're watching it.
I wasn't looking too much into it. I had heard about it a while back and I wanted to watch it. We watched an episode and a half and it was pretty good.
I think it makes it more interesting when you don't know what happened.
Yeah,
You
Correct.
watch the whole documentary.
Yeah. No, but I wanted to touch base on something we haven't recorded in a while. And the last time we recorded, we talked about trying to get on Rise of Resistance because it was the opening weekend, which was like a month ago now.
I know.
Yeah. So I wanted to tell a little story about what happened
Oh, God.
because we went up for 2 days. We went up for a Sunday, Monday.
So he had 2 tries.
So we had 2 tries. So the first day we go up there and the park opens at 8. You need to be in the park before it opens. They start letting people in at like 7:30. So we got in line. So we got in the park and we
Did they not let you pass Main Street or something?
No, you can go up Main
you can
Street
go all the way
into
up
the
to Main Street
rotunda, but
in-
you can't go into the
Yeah,
lands.
you can't go into any lands.
Okay.
So you open the app. You have all your tickets in the app, and on the front page it'll say it has a picture of a walker and it says Rise of Resistance.
One
Join
app
a
per
boarding
party?
group.
No,
Or was everybody trying?
Katrina and I were both trying. You could put as many tickets in your family. You could put them on each app.
Okay.
But if one person gets in, the other person can't. So it's not like you're.
You can
getting
only
double
join one boarding group.
Okay.
per day, and they were only guaranteeing 81 boarding groups per day. So what's funny is
Seems like a small number, by the way.
it is, but
But you don't know how many people are in the boarding group.
Yeah, there could be 100 people in the boarding group.
I guess that makes sense. Okay.
But
Continue.
so they do 80, and those people are guaranteed, and then there's backup boarding groups. We sign in. Katrina gets 91. We were like, sweet, because the day before they had done like 115.
Right.
So we were like, we're gonna get to ride it. Well, the ride broke down 4 times that day.
So backed up.
It takes an hour to reboot the whole
Yeah.
Dang.
ride.
Complicated
And
process.
at like 8:30, they were at like 87, and we were like real close. And then they were like, "We're
Robert's
shutting."
having a breakdown. Parker's having a breakdown.
Yeah, we all wanted to go
Oliver's
on it.
just like, I'm done.
And I wasn't having a breakdown because of the ride. I was like, I wanted to know or not know, and I don't like not knowing.
if you would have left and your boarding party got called,
I would have been pissed.
right. But if you would have stayed the whole time, you don't get called.
Well, we were there
You're
till like
pissed.
9 o'clock,
Yeah.
so we were there from like 7 a.m. to 9 o'clock.
Which
You
is
get
a
all
long
pooped.
day.
Your feet hurt.
Yep,
Your
it was
legs
a
are sore.
long.
You wanna die.
day.
The kids are whining. And
We did try a bunch of new food at Star Wars, and we tried all the drinks that they serve, like
Oh, that was fun. The
that was-
teas and
yeah,
stuff.
Yeah, and they have these Ronto wraps that are really good at the cargo bay. Cargo bay.
Sure.
Yeah, I mean, you haven't been. You've been. It's
The hot
pretty cool.
chocolate's really good.
It's awesome. I love how they make you feel like you're not at Disneyland
Yeah.
anymore. Like that's the
Oh,
vibe
yeah.
that I like. The first time I walked in the longer way. I don't.
That's
By the Hungry
resistance
Bear?
side. By the Hungry Bear.
the resistance side. Yeah, it makes you're walking and you hear like this ambient
Yeah.
like.
You're walking through like
Woods.
brush and you hear animals and stuff, and you come into where that's where the Rise of Resistance ride is. So Parker was disappointed, and we had set everybody up and said, if we go, we go. If we don't, we don't. So
so you didn't get in that night.
we didn't
No.
get in that night. The next day. Oh, and what else is you hear people cheering and hear people groaning because
Nobody
the
moves.
entire Main Street is set up is just packed with people.
And at 8 o'clock, when they open up the lands, people just stay there.
Instead of, usually it'd be people would run to the rides. Everybody just stays in one spot.
When do you find out on the app?
It's instantaneous.
You
But
find out.
It's now at 8 o'clock exactly.
Yeah, it's at 8 o'clock. You open it, you hit find out more, and you hit join boarding
So
group.
as soon as they open the doors, everyone's on their app. Now's the
Yep.
time to press it.
Yep.
No, well, you get in at 7:30.
And you hang
Once
out.
8 hits.
Yeah, before
So
the
you hear
lands
people
are open,
going,
so-
ah, or people going, ah. It was an interesting, you could see the waves of people getting in.
Okay.
So the next day we come back, we do the same thing, and we get boarding group 23. Easy. So we were like, hell yeah. Because we were like high-fiving and stuff. We were super excited. So we go to do a couple rides, and the day before they didn't start boarding until 10:30. By 10, they were already like calling us.
Right.
So we go. We're gonna go. There's gonna be some spoilers here. I'm letting everybody know because
that's fine.
We're talking about the ride. So
You just spoiled you got on.
oh yeah, we got on. So you go in, and we probably waited in line for like 30 minutes. It wasn't that long.
Because you still have to go through the line queue.
Yeah, so you still go through the line queue, but it's not super long because it's not. I mean, it'd be a 6-hour wait if they just opened it up to everybody.
Yeah, I get it.
So we go in, and you get after you wait in line, you get into this, which is it's really cool. You see all these like digital boards and all these like uniforms.
Is
And
it as good as like Indiana Jones, or is it more like?
I'd say yes.
There's
Sort-
built-in benches,
No,
so
yeah,
it's
sort
way
of
better.
a-
That's
Ooh,
one thing. There is
nice.
built-in benches in the rocks.
Okay.
So you get in this room. BB-8's there. There's somebody on the screen, and then Rey appears as
A hologram.
The hologram, like when you see him in blue, like "Help me, Obi-Wan Kenobi." And I was like, "Oh my god, this is really cool." And they're saying, "Okay, you're going to join the Resistance," blah 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 blah, and it's this whole situation. So then you go through another door, and you're outside, and you see a full-size X-wing. It's like a black and orange X-wing, I think it was.
Yeah.
And you're going
Pose in there.
you're going to a transport unit. So you go into this thing, and it's almost like the trolley. It's flat, but it's got arm bars, and you feel it. There's a what alien was Akbar?
Amon
Fishman.
Calamari, whatever.
Okay, so there's a blue one of those, and he's the pilot of this transport ship. You can see him. You can see out the front window. You can see out the back window.
You take off.
So you take off, and you're leaving Batu.
You're standing.
Yeah, you're standing on this thing. It's slow. Like you get up and there's X-wings flying behind you. You can see yourself flying out of Batu, and you get attacked by TIE fighters. So you're seeing a battle behind you, and then you get stuck
Captured.
in a tractor beam by a Star Destroyer, and you feel it shaking and shaking and shaking, and you get pulled up, and then the side opens, and you are boarded by fucking First Order human First Order officers.
What?
I was
They
like,
escort you
and
from
they
your
are- they are
transport, take
not
you on the
nice.
stars. Yeah.
They are very short. They are very to the point, and they're saying what's going to happen to you. So you step out of this, and you're inside a Star Destroyer. Oliver, after this ride, asked how we got to space. Like, so you're in a Star Destroyer. It's probably like, I don't know, 80 feet high in there.
Yeah.
There's a full squadron of stormtroopers, maybe 50 of them.
Yeah.
And you're seeing that that light blue color that they fly through to get to outer space, and you're seeing other Star Destroyers and TIE fighters flying
Popping
by.
out.
And you're like, what the fuck? This is crazy. So then they lead you down a hallway, and they're really strict about you staying in line. They're playing their parts, and you get sent into a interrogation room. And General Hux is there, and Kylo Ren is there. Because
In which way?
they're like, you haven't been on the Harry Potter ride. It's almost like a hologram, but
It's
So
a
that-
screen projection.
yeah, it's a screen projection.
Okay, so they're not right in front of you, or not.
You're looking up. You're down.
Oh, they're on a, like
Yeah.
catwalk
They're like on a
above you?
viewing platform looking at you.
I don't
Okay.
want to say what happens after that because it's a pretty cool surprise for when. I mean, you have passes for whenever you go because
Yeah.
Never.
there's a pretty cool.
It'll be no line by the
thing.
time I go.
After,
It'll
It'll be
like-
shut down.
It'll be old news.
after the surprise happens, then the ride starts.
Okay.
So
So
you're
you have like this
doing-
25
like
minute
it's a 20-minute situation.
introduction just to get onto the ride.
And it's a trackless ride, so all of the stuff is under concrete. You're being shot at by stormtroopers. You see the blasts hit the wall and chunks of the wall explode. You're going under walkers that are full-size walkers.
That was really cool.
Yeah, there's a part where you're going by and there's a
Blasters.
blaster shooting out, and they like shoot forward and they recoil, and you like zoom past it to the next one. As they're shooting out, you can see the battle in space that's happening next to you. It is fucking insane. It's the craziest ride I have ever been on in my life.
That's good. That's cool. You all come out smiling and laughing.
Everybody that came out was like,
Like you don't know what to say.
What? just happened? Like,
And the kids?
yeah, they were like, Oliver was even like, my heart. He's like, it's beating so fast. Oh my God. Oh my God.
Because he doesn't do well with new interactions at all.
And I had told him ahead of time that there is a drop in the ride. There's a small drop. You're basically in an escape pod and it drops out and it floats down. But it's nuts. Like, it's worth the price of admission if you think you're going to get on.
That's cool. It sucks as a random lotto.
It is.
Especially, I mean, for you guys, it's fine. Cause
Yeah,
you guys,
I know. But for a single day pass for somebody who's just trying to get on that,
Yeah, you come
no
from
way.
out of country. It's like,
that sucks. That's why I wouldn't, if I only had a single day pass, I wouldn't be trying to get on for the first year.
yeah, not consistently.
But like with the Pandora ride in Florida, it's when we went in 2018, we went? Yeah.
Yeah, sure.
It had been out for like 2 years and it still had a 3-hour wait.
How's the Cars Land though now?
Same.
It's still really bad.
Is it?
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah, Racers is still a
I thought it'd be
90-minute
little
wait.
better.
as much as me and Sonia go, we hardly ever get to go on it.
Why don't you guys ever do single rider?
Yeah,
I don't know, because we like going on it together, you know.
we might save an hour.
It was a ride that her and I both went on for the first time together, and we both experienced it for the first time.
When
So
you
we
guys
like,
are in opposite cars, that's when it's cool.
Yeah.
yeah.
I think other than like Toy Story Mania and like Buzz, like where you're competing against each other, I don't think I'd care if it was single rider or not. But
You get nervous when you do single rider with Parker. What are you talking about?
The one time we've ever done single rider, I got nervous because it was the first time that we did it. You are correct, Katrina.
You were
are
nervous
correct.
for yourself or for your child?
For my kid, like
Yeah, okay.
But I went. But the thing is if you're a parent, I think you need to go first, so there's somebody waiting for them on the other side.
Yeah,
I wouldn't do it with Oliver. There's no way. He's only 7. Parker's 10. He's old enough to. They
Yeah.
direct you onto the ride, and then you go on the other side.
right.
I don't know. He doesn't listen to simple directions I give him.
Yeah, but he listens to simple directions that other people give
I
him.
know. It sucks.
No, but the ride's really good. The next new ride to open is opening this summer. It's the Spider-Man ride.
Nice. That land's going to be redone pretty soon.
Completely done this summer.
Do you know when it's supposed to open?
Summer, it said. But the Wakanda ride doesn't open. They don't have an opening for that yet.
I think it's cool. You can see like the tops of the buildings when you're walking through.
Did you see the Spider-Man they're doing?
No.
It's a free swinging Spider-Man animatronic that swings above people's heads in the land.
That's crazy.
Yeah, until it lands on somebody.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How many more rides are they going to make for Star Wars?
Just those 2.
That's it? We're done? No more space?
Nope. At least not here.
Yeah.
There's no space.
Maybe Paris.
Florida has the most space.
How many are there? Paris and
Well, no, there's Paris.
Tokyo?
There's Tokyo.
There's China.
There's China. And even in those, there's Tokyo Disney and Tokyo Sea, which are both Disney parks.
Okay.
There's Paris. There's Hong Kong.
Mm-hmm.
There's Shanghai.
I saw a video of one of the Pirates of the Caribbean rides, and it looked crazy.
There's some. We watched a huge documentary, the Imagineering
Imagineering.
documentary,
I watched about 4 episodes so far. I haven't
and there's
finished.
some really cool stuff.
Yeah, there's one
with
of
other
the Big Thunder Mountains is on an actual island.
Yeah,
and
you
you go
go
under the
underneath
water.
Yeah, I remember that.
But there was like the haunted mansion in one of the Asian parks would look really cool.
Oh, it was completely different.
Yeah.
There was also the Space Mountain that was all. What is the term I'm looking for?
I don't know.
You remember it was all the clocks and the brass stuff. What are those people called?
Are you talking about like steampunk?
Yeah,
That's what I was trying.
I was trying to find the word and it
I've
wasn't
got
there.
that far on the show to see that.
They Universal building a new park in Orlando that's going to be bigger than both their other parks combined. And as of right now, it's just called Epic Theme Park, and it's like 923 acres.
Which one is going to do Mario? Or is that
They're all doing Mario.
They're all doing
Universal
Mario.
parks. They're doing
Like a Nintendo
Yeah.
land or something.
yeah. They're already building the one here. It was there last time we were.
And it's going to be
Yeah.
far fucking down
Yeah,
there.
it's next to Transformers, where like Backdraft used to be.
Mm-hmm.
No, but they're speculating that there's going to be a lot more Nintendo and Harry Potter at the new theme park. But they just announced that they're doing a classic Universal Monsters land at the new park, which is pretty cool.
Hopefully.
I
I mean, those movies haven't taken off.
Do they have like a special effects? I don't want to say area, but do they have like a Tom Savini like thing
Savini?
anywhere?
No,
No.
they have a special effects show, but nothing Tom Savini like.
They have the stunt show.
They have the Walking Dead walkthrough.
Yeah,
Oh, okay. that's
we
cool.
never went through it, so I really don't know.
because Parker refuses to go.
Yeah.
I thought I've never been there, so I don't know. But I would think they would have like a little like not a museum, but like a walkthrough area of like prosthetics and things like that.
Well, they do, but you have to pay way extra for that. You can walk on the lot if you pay extra. And it has like costume departments and stuff like that. But
see, that's cool. I'd want to see that kind of stuff.
And they also have
and then Halloween Horror Nights.
Yeah, they have the tram ride that goes onto the lot, and you can see stuff. And a couple of times we were there, they're actually filming stuff that they had to drive around. So that's pretty cool. Unfortunately, King Kong burned down a while back. It's another thing. We just watched Godzilla, King of Monsters.
Oh, was it good? Was it as good as it was anticipated to be?
I enjoyed it. It was a fun watch.
We never watched the first one.
Yeah, I didn't watch the first one.
We started it, and we were like, yeah, no thanks.
From what I remember, it was okay.
I'm confusing my movies.
Brian swears by it.
I watched it for that one, Bryan Cranston, Godzilla. Yeah. What was I confusing? King Kong. Okay. I never watched that one either.
That was fun. I like that one.
Okay. Yeah. Sorry.
What else have we watched? Or no, classic monsters. So
The Boys.
The Boys
was pretty good, man.
Yeah. I mean, short and sweet.
I think the next season, though, I already watched a trailer for it, but
there's a trailer out?
Yeah.
I didn't realize that.
Yeah, it's pretty bloody too.
Pretty good show. In
Well,
my
you
opinion.
didn't read the comic.
No,
I didn't read the comic, so I went in blind.
I wasn't. Yeah, I guess it might have upset some people. Like, it wasn't an Irish main character or whatnot.
Did you know who the main character is?
I've seen him in other things.
That's Dennis Quaid and Meg Ryan's son.
Oh, is it?
Yeah.
Okay. And I looked him up. I recognize him from small parts. He was a bad guy in the first Hunger Games.
Really?
You recognize him? Yeah.
Huh.
He was like one of the first region 1 or 2. I don't think.
Dicks.
No. Yeah.
No, it caught me off guard because, like, the very beginning of the show, there's a speedster that just runs through a woman.
Yep.
She explodes.
Yeah,
she
he goes so
explodes.
fast. He's basically holding his girlfriend's hand, and she's like in the first 10 minutes, so it's not really. She's on the street, like going to get in her car, and then she just in slow motion explodes, and her teeth and blood just cover the guy.
And he's still holding her hands.
And whoever the equivalent of the Flash is like, "Oh man, sorry, bro." Keeps on going.
You got Flash, you got Wonder Woman, you got Superman.
The equivalent
of them.
The Invisible Man.
Deep.
The Deep. Oh my god! Everything that happened with him after he got kicked out, basically when
was
he became
hilarious.
Yeah, the comedic.
I love when he's talking to the lobster, and he's talking to the
gonna save
lobster.
him.
There's a guy who's like Aquaman. Everyone finds him as useless as it sounds. Like you talk to us.
So he's like, "I'm gonna get you out of here." So he's like, "I want that one." And the butcher takes him out and then stabs it to the head.
Ooh. He's like, "Buddy, I know you trapped." And then a dolphin at SeaWorld was like his.
Oh God!
Goes through the windshield.
His lover.
Oh, God.
And he's like, "I'm gonna free you from SeaWorld, or we're gonna get out of here."
Gets in a car accident.
Complete side plot, to the whole show.
Launches out the window and gets hit by a truck.
In slow mo. What song was playing? It was like Spice Girls or something. Wasn't it?
Was. I think it was. Yeah.
That's awesome.
The Spice Girls have a whole
theme.
Yeah, it circles back.
I love Carl Urban. He is great.
He's good in that role.
We're big Anthony Starr fans because he was in Banshee, the guy that plays Homelander.
Okay, yeah, I'd never seen him before, and he's
great.
He's great.
He's both intimidating and weird
and charming. He's all of it. He's
on
supposed to be.
Yeah.
Step back, our laser, all you motherfuckers.
Yeah. There's a plane going down.
He's Superman, but you realize he seems like the greatest guy in the world by the first episode, but by the end of it, he is just.
But he's not the villain.
As vain, and
he's just a bad guy.
He just doesn't sympathize with humanity.
I like the French dude a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah. He was,
the whole crew was cool.
Yeah. Simon Pegg's in it.
Yeah. Yeah. He was the inspiration for the comic book character.
Oh, was he?
That's what I read. So that's why I gave him the.
Oh, that's cool.
Real.
Isn't what's his name? The dude that was in Lord of the Rings and Thor Ragnarok?
No.
That's Carl Urban.
Oh, okay.
Yes, he's in it.
Yes.
He's really
He's
good.
the second main character, basically.
Yeah.
That's cool. I like him.
And without saying, the twist at the end got me. I was like, oh.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
So, no, it's a good show. I'm definitely looking forward. I think they said summer for the second season.
Violent, bloody, a lot of cursing.
Yeah.
A lot of bad things.
Assault.
The deep assaulted.
Did you guys watch The Witcher at all?
No.
No.
It's on the list of things to watch.
It's so good.
I heard that Tormund Giantsbane just got cast in the next season.
He's basically going to play their version of Beast from Beauty and the Beast. That similar type of story. He's going to play their version of Beast.
Is he the beast or is he the human?
He's the Beast.
So he regular human just turns into him?
Kind of.
That's what it should be.
Yeah, so he's going to play that type of character, basically.
Interesting.
So it should
Good
be
for him.
It's on the list of things to watch, but I just haven't got to it.
I remember hearing somebody said that they read a headline that the fighting in that was better than anything in Game of Thrones.
Oh my God! Episode 1, the first like big fight scene between Geralt and that like posse of dudes was insane.
I agree, it was good, but there's no way it was Game of Thrones level. Like somebody said, the battle scenes were more epic than Game of Thrones. And I was like, that's a fucking.
Well, I'm sure the budget wasn't nearly
No, it couldn't
the
have
amount
been.
for Witcher as it is for Game of
I
Thrones.
wouldn't say that it was better. I would say that it was more like brutal and graphic.
What's his name did all his own stunts. I appreciate.
You're
Yeah.
also comparing the first season of a show to like later fighting.
Yeah,
in
I agree. But there were battle scenes in The Witcher that did nothing. That weren't like spectacular in any way. Like they're just kind of.
I hope you
off
don't
the
like
side.
it too much. It won't be more than 3 seasons.
That's fine.
If they know
There's
where they're
not more
going
than
with
3 games.
it. Yeah.
Why? But isn't there more books?
Oh, there's a ton of books.
Wasn't it both?
Oh.
I heard it was more based off the books than it was the
They're very
video
similar.
games.
'cause
Yeah,
the
but-
game's very similar, I think. In
Like-
regards.
A lot of each episode is like a different part of the game. Each episode is like a new like quest line. Is how I kind of like
I don't like
got
it
the
already.
vibe from it, which was cool. It still follows like a storyline, but there's different stuff in each episode, and
And I think the books have a lot of short stories, and they're told out of order. But I know that all the characters you see their deaths in the book, I think. So,
yeah.
and this is more of a prequel than I think the games ever were.
Well, but there was a lot of storylines that were similar to storylines from the game, like
Probably straight from the book,
yeah,
or like parts of it.
yeah, like it would be the same story, but the characters would be named different things.
Yeah.
Like the Baron and things like that. That was a quest from The Witcher 3, where like his like wife disappears or whatever, and there's the Leberkin, I think is what they called it. Yeah, it's super complicated, but yeah, it's like similar to the game though in a lot of aspects. They use, how in like some games you'll have little magic abilities and stuff that you'll use. In a lot of the fight scenes with Geralt, he actually uses those, which I
I beat
thought
God of War,
was
by the
so
way.
cool.
I beat God of War, by the way.
When did you have time for that?
Well, I played it for a while. I didn't mean to interrupt, Anthony.
Oh, it's on.
I played it for a little while and thought it was horribly overrated.
That changed, didn't it?
Yes,
Yeah.
but it's not a perfect game.
Do you respect the camera?
Yes, although I did have a loading sequence.
What are you talking about?
I was traveling through doors and the loading screen came up. It was a little red circle
Really?
and it stopped.
I never had it.
Ooh, that never happened to me.
I would-
It literally happened for like 10 seconds and it went away.
Okay.
It's before you
But-
jump.
At one point, like when you jump on the back of a dragon right down the mountain, and it
Yeah, it's pretty
doesn't
cool.
cut, and you're like, whoa.
The only reason I started to get back into it is because I saw the trailer for Final Fantasy VII, the new one, and I'm like,
The trailer or like the opening?
the opening, and I'm like, I'm gonna need to play this. So I was like, I need to jump on this and do this. The Dark Elf portion of God of War is one of the worst sections of any game I've ever played.
That was early on.
I hated the Dark
Yeah,
Elves.
it
Those
was.
guys pissed
That's
me off.
well, that's why I played it. And I'm like, Brian, this game is stupid.
You don't like the enemies?
The enemies were more difficult than boss fights.
What did you think of the final boss of the Dark Elves?
Who
I
was it?
remember who that was.
The last dude you had to fight before you get out of that
Stupid.
area. Yeah, he pissed me off.
Like
And then
I hated all of it.
I
I
remember.
hate the guys that shoot darkness too.
Yeah,
And it's like this is dumb. It was.
I beat that game on the hardest difficulty.
that
for
sequence
you.
that land alone lowered the rating for the game for me. I thought it was stupid. I don't think there was any real point to it, but the rest of the game was great. Like I liked it a lot. I'd play the sequel.
I can't remember the MacGuffin that was there to go to that world. I don't remember having a problem with it.
You had to power up a stone so you could change the. It was just terrible. It was terrible.
You had to take you had to travel between
And the final fight
the
was
Bifrost.
the final fight was very cool to see.
The head is the coolest character in the game.
Oh,
Oh,
Mimir!
Mimir?
Oh my god, he's amazing.
Every conversation on the boat, I want to stay on the boat.
Yeah, there was times where I wanted to.
And the three-way interaction between all of them, I freaking like. And like when he's alone with like, why don't you tell your boy about what he is?
Yeah.
And it's like, oh, this is so cool.
Brock and Zendri were cool. I liked them a lot.
Yeah, they were good.
They had an interesting dynamic to the game.
I liked going back to your house after you beat the game. That was cool. Did you do that?
I don't remember what happened.
You see Thor?
Isn't that only if you do the everything in the game or something?
No, I just
Then
went
there's
back
some
to.
other.
I just went back to the house.
Okay, there's something after that. Then that's some other secret ending. Yeah, I do remember that.
I didn't fight any of the Valkyries. He told me to go back and do that. I said,
Oh my
"Alright."
god.
They are challenging,
They
but
are
not if you've leveled up a
extremely
little bit.
difficult.
Well, there wasn't a single boss fight or battle in that I thought was difficult except for the elves.
It's because you didn't fight the Valkyries.
Maybe it's already true.
Do you remember watching me try to fight the Valkyries in the living room?
Before I'd ever played it,
I also think that the leveling up in that is
Tedious.
no, it's
the,
very simple.
the
Pointless?
skill trees. It's unnecessary.
It's very simple.
It's simple to the point of not
But-
changing the gameplay enough for me.
Did you ever switch out your skills at all?
Yeah,
Okay, I thought that was cool.
quite a bit. But I'm just like, this is not for me. It's like, okay, just level up Atreus and have him shoot shit, and then you just destroy things.
I never felt he was too overpowered. You thought so?
I beat the dragon on my first try. I beat most things on my first try. There were a couple things where like even later on when you're doing like the levels where it's like giving you the enemies from each thing again, it shoots you like a huge ogre that's a fire one and a huge ogre that's a ice one, and
In
you
the
have to switch in between.
fireplace, right?
Is that the challenge?
And it was that was easy.
You never got into like that misty place very much.
No,
did
I
you?
didn't do that.
Okay.
I don't have time for side quests. I did like 2 in the whole game.
I stopped as well. That's why I was grinding, and then I was like, I beat it.
One thing I thoroughly enjoyed about the game is there's a lot of like hidden treasures and things that you can go back and find, and a lot of different types of like side quests and stuff. And that was one thing I thought was really
I'd
interesting.
put it. I told Brian. I said I definitely put it in like top 25 games, but it's not better than Last of Us.
I don't think so.
No.
But that's comparing it to a perfect 10.
Yes, and it was given a perfect 10. So I mean,
I liked it.
I think it's in my top 5.
Yeah, I would put it on PlayStation 4 or total.
so you just say that Last of Us and God of War are in your top 5.
Yeah.
So what are your other 3?
Oh man.
Is this like forever?
Well, not forever, but as so far.
As of this current date.
Just
Yeah.
rattling
No,
off right now, I'd put all 3 Uncharted and Last of Us
I
above
was like,
it.
let's talk about like current gen or like at least like PlayStation 3 onward, because everything else is like so old. Is that 2 out of 5 then?
Yeah, I would say that's
Just-
2 out of 5.
So you have Paper
So you'd
Mario,
put Last of Us as your number 1 game, and then God of War is 2.
BioShock.
That's very a difficult statement.
I think it's also recency biased. I mean, that's the most epic game you've played recently, correct?
Yeah, I don't know. I think The Witcher 3, but it's just because I'm playing. It's one of the most recent games that I've played.
I saw that sales went up for those games like 560% or something.
Oh yeah,
Good for them.
Oh yeah. It was that game was on sale for like $15 to $20 for like the past year, and then when the Witcher series started coming about, it like spiked back up.
I heard that Sony was going to have a playable demo of Last of Us 2 at PAX, but they canceled PAX because of the coronavirus.
Did they?
Yeah.
I didn't actually hear about that.
I'm excited. That's coming out. What, next month? The month after that?
It got
We'll
delayed.
see.
It'll start spreading before then.
Oh,
It got delayed till April, I thought.
that sucks.
I think
Delays are good, healthy. You don't want somebody to push something
on a
out.
game like that, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, they added so many like new
Laying down.
mechanic. Yeah, laying down and crawling through grass, and the whole like enemies will have dogs that are trying to
Turning
sniff
into Metal
you
Gear
out.
Solid.
Yeah.
I wonder if Lacey ever got out of that first section.
Don't hold your breath.
I won't.
What, did she start playing it?
Yeah, and the first time she got to clickers, she couldn't beat the very, very first.
A hard clicker fight, to be
It
honest.
is.
Is that when you're in like the tipped building or whatever?
Yes.
Is that yeah.
So God of War, you didn't like it very much. Did you like the end? Like
Oh, I'd give it
But-
a solid like 8.5.
that last fight with basically,
Baldur?
Baldur and the giant in the background. And
Oh, it was
you-
amazing to look at, but it wasn't a difficult battle.
I agree, because mostly a lot of times like some quick time events, but like you're holding the guy in the chokehold, and your kid falling. And
Oh, yeah,
shooting
it was
you.
great.
I
It was
was.
visually amazing.
I thought that was like the coolest 20 minutes. Like it's like, I think it was like the last God of War 3, you're fighting the Titans. It felt like that, which makes sense.
Yeah.
Just so epic in scale. That serpent, he went into its freaking mouth at one
Yeah.
point.
Yeah.
That's so cool. It sounds so cool.
I hate to say it, but Oliver watched me play that game a lot.
Except for like, I mean, you ripping apart guys with blue goo and stuff,
Yeah,
right?
but like a handful of times I was like, Oliver, you need to look away.
Did you fight any of the White Walker looking dudes?
Yeah, you had to.
You
right?
have to.
A lot of them come
any
from
of the
the
bosses,
tears, though.
Any of the soul tears? I think is what it's called.
Yeah, maybe not. I don't know.
I think
they
they're
were
in the
so
game otherwise as
extremely
well.
difficult.
Because you go to like hell and back, you
Yeah.
go on the flying ship. That was okay.
I like the flying ship.
Anytime you have to like defend your base level,
I wanted to fight that big bird thing off in the distance.
What the fuck was that?
Yeah,
too.
I don't know.
I kept looking. I was like, "That's."
Oh yeah.
I kept thinking like it must be something in that mythology.
I thought that was going to be. Well, what's funny is I'm playing it. I'm asking Katrina questions because she just read that Norse mythology book from Neil Gaiman and some of the stuff
Another
she
one?
knew and stuff.
I read that like a year and a half ago.
It's all
Oh,
blended.
you're up
together.
on it then, right? What's the giant bird all about?
Yeah, what's the bird
I
about?
think it's a
Katrina?
guardian
In hell.
What the fuck is going on?
In hell, there's a
Helheim?
giant guardian bird where all the souls like he like watched him pass.
I mean,
I remember the story about the wishing well and Odin taking out his eye.
Oh, all those cabinets with basically the story like mythology. Cool,
yeah,
right?
yeah.
The witch. Like, who was she again?
Freya.
Freya. Yeah, that was cool. And her son, like, you almost feel bad for him at one point when he's in hell. He's like, I can't feel anything.
Yeah.
Why'd you do this to me,
Barbossa.
mother? Yeah, that's exactly right.
And it's kind of cool that they. I mean, you got to hear Thor, you got to hear Odin, but you didn't see any of them because they're saving the big ones for further future games.
Yeah, you just see like a memory of them. But Chains of Chaos. Did you know that was coming?
No, I didn't. It was pretty
Oh,
cool
Blades of Chaos.
Oh yeah.
because I didn't play all of. I played the first one and part of the second one.
Every like
Those are the big ones that matter. Those are the
Yeah.
best ones.
every like trailer showed off just his axe, which felt really good. Like when you
Yeah.
throw it, like has a weight to it. But then like what are you like 2/3 of the way through the game when you get your Blades of
Yeah.
Chaos? And like, oh shit.
I got pissed at that part too because I knew that my axe couldn't hurt them. I didn't think about putting the axe away and beating those guys with your fists.
Yeah.
And I was
Oh,
like,
okay.
yeah,
Like
that
before you
makes
got
sense.
it?
Before you that sequence before you get your blades.
Yeah, you gotta go against the weakness kind of. Fire guys you hit with your axe. Finding the birds in the game Ravens.
I found a handful of them, but I didn't care that much.
So you have to throw like fucking as far as you can.
Yeah, some of them were really difficult, but I managed to get them.
I don't care.
I like the action enough that this story being so good that I thought it blended so
Do you guys play
well.
Spider-Man? You Spider-Man?
No, I wanted to.
I don't own it.
I liked Spider-Man better than I liked God of War.
Last thing I'll say about
But-
God of War.
Is that like one thing source
That's
material
biased.
is
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, of course.
I liked both of them a lot. I did.
Last thing I'll say about God of War is that more and more games now are in like Dolby surround sound. So playing that game with my 5.1 system was like incredible. When there's like dudes all around you and you hear them like yelling and screeching and swinging their weapons, it gives you like so much more immersion to the game. It was freaking so cool.
Did you know the twist when it was coming about his kid? You didn't read anything, right?
No, I didn't know.
Not a big twist, but I mean, looking at it now, you're
You knew
like,
something was going on.
yeah, right.
Yeah.
And it's may set up for a future game. He may get older, but like he kills Kratos, like in the walls,
Yeah.
and all the giants out in the field. That whole level of like,
Oh yeah.
basically the game was over by that point. You're exploring, and that's actually when you dump the ashes, huh?
Yes.
Do you guys
Finally.
think that they'll actually make a God of War TV show
No.
made by the creators of The Witcher?
No.
I've been seeing a lot of speculation about it, but I don't know if they actually will.
Which storyline would you want them to make? If
This
they-
one.
It would be Kratos' story.
Not
More
like the
likely.
first one, like Ghost of Sparta?
Oh,
Kratos?
probably not. It probably wouldn't be that.
That'd be
It would
weird to
probably
start
be
with
from-
like adult man who's gone through all that shit.
Well, they didn't start The Witcher at the beginning of the Witcher books.
They started Star Wars in episode 4, dude.
I know, right?
And it's
I
the
mean-
biggest phenomenon of all time.
Do you think there are Witcher books that cover him like in his adolescence?
Um,
Because it started pretty early. Like it shows him. I mean,
They-
I figured as early as the books went. I don't know.
they talk about like him becoming a Witcher when he was younger, but not much more than that. Not anything pre him training to become a Witcher and going through the process. But
Yeah, I heard that.
I watched the Netflix release the last season, second to last one now. I guess Better Call Saul. We finished that like in 2-3 days. I didn't realize we watched 10 episodes.
I haven't
Just
watched it in quite some time.
I caught up BB, so we're right.
Mhm.
We remember everything, and now the last season's I think on now, so I'll have to stream that.
Are we ever going to watch that?
I don't know. I added it to our cloud.
Okay.
Some
We'll
of the characters
see.
that come back are so cool. Just on the whole, I mean, obviously Gus Fring is back,
Yeah.
but
does Bill Burr pop up in it?
not yet.
No.
God, I'm trying to remember. There's some other people that are just like little small parts, like the guy who got killed by Brian. I mean, he was in the other seasons. Honestly,
Bill Burr in The Mandalorian was fucking terrible. That's just lending itself to say that there's a fucking space Boston somewhere.
Yeah.
You know, I think that
He couldn't put on like a different like
Accent.
accent.
that episode was one that was heavily praised when it came out.
I liked the episode.
I think I like other episodes better. Like that one was I felt it was too many hallways. That's all it was.
Yeah,
Whereas-
you're right.
I don't know what episode I like best. I would have to think about it.
What else have we watched recently? We watched a lot of stuff recently. What did we watch for the boys? Was there anything in between?
Did the Invincible show come out?
Not yet.
Not yet.
Not yet. This year. I feel like there was more stuff. No, I really did like God of War, and the only reason I'd say I like Spider-Man more is because there's
What'd you
something
tell
special
Brian?
about. What do you mean?
You didn't tell Brian you liked it.
Yeah. How did he react to your?
Did
Well,
you-
he's like, how do you like it? I was like, meh.
Yeah, 100%. You had to say meh.
Yeah.
And what did he say? No, meh.
And I was, I let it go for a few minutes, but then I was like, no, I liked it. I could say that it was a perfect 10, but I thought that the leveling system was kind of basic, like you said, and that just the Dark Elves. Other than that, I liked the game a lot.
The leveling system has been pretty much like that in all of them, so they didn't want to change it too much.
You didn't have armor or nothing.
Yeah, and you know what like skills you're gonna get basically.
Yeah,
from the
it's just
beginning. And
Runic power.
It's pretty basic.
I always liked when my axe got upgraded for free. Sweet.
Yeah. Yeah.
I watched Bookworms. You watched that,
Booksmart?
right? Booksmart. That's it, right?
Yeah.
We
You
watched
like
that too.
Yeah, I liked that movie a lot. It was funny.
It was good. It wasn't great. It was just
No, the
good.
two girls were awesome.
Oh, they were. I liked the other girl better though.
Which
Well, yeah, all I seem to hear about the movie was about Jonah Hill's sister. I can't think of her name right
is she
now.
the one in
Bernie
What We Do in the
Feinstein.
Shadows?
Bernie
Schultz.
Feinstein. Yeah,
Okay.
but I like the other girl.
I
That was a
them
little
both fine.
awkward.
That's the only thing I knew. 'Cause I watched a few more of the What We Do in the Shadow episodes, so I
Great
know
show,
what
by
she's
the way.
doing.
Oh, Jojo Rabbit came out. I want to buy it.
Oh, okay.
Oh, and we could talk about Parasite.
Was it a scene in the taxi where they're both watching like lesbian porno,
Oh God, so good.
and they plug in the audio.
Yeah,
I haven't heard Bibi laugh that hard in a long time. I can't remember. It would have been like 6 months. We both started fucking like dying laughing.
no,
You've
it was
seen
a
the
good
right?
movie, but
Okay.
like it was on list of like 10 best movies of the year, and I'm like,
I wouldn't put that high. It's super bad with like.
And literally, the girl is Jonah Hill's younger sister.
I'd actually know that. That's
Yeah.
funny.
Oh, you look at her again.
I can see it.
Yeah, they're like identical. Not now, but him then and her then.
And I didn't know
facial features.
who had directed it.
Olivia Wilde.
Yeah,
That's why Jason Sudeikis
Yeah.
was in it.
Oh wow.
put it together.
Yeah. No, good movie. I liked it.
I watched A Quiet Place also, long overdue,
Dude.
and I heard
good
too
movie.
many good things about it because I wasn't blown away.
I liked it.
Did you watch it in the living room?
It's because you need to watch it in a
No.
theater.
I liked it better than
No,
I
you
liked
don't hear
Booksmart.
people coughing.
Dude,
and,
yeah.
No, but
You should have
it's-
watched it in the living room.
It's really, really tense.
It was just been too quiet.
He watched it on their phone.
It's not Game of Thrones. Lazy. I remember the one thing the ending should have.
I didn't like the
ended
very.
5 minutes
it brought some
later. What the
tears.
fuck?
I didn't like that action scene. Like,
Credit troll, and I immediately go.
have you watched the trailer for the new one?
Yeah,
Looks
I
really
watched
good.
it before I watched the new one, so I have to go back and
Oh.
rewatch it again.
Looks really good.
Because I was like, "There's no what's his name from The Office, Jim."
Jim Halpert,
Yeah,
John Krasinski.
there's no Jim in it, so I'm like, I guess he didn't survive the first one, and he didn't.
He's in the trailer for the
Yeah.
second one.
Because they show
They show
like,
when
in
it
the
first
past.
happens.
I must have watched.
when she's like driving through the
Yeah.
town. Oh my god.
There's like a teaser, and then there's a trailer.
I remember from the trailer, her with the babies walking, and some humans grab her. You don't know what's going on out there. I know what trailer I watched.
So Parasite, we have it. If you want to watch it,
You have
We don't have it right now.
Lacey has it right now. But if you guys want to borrow it,
It's out on DVD.
yes.
Yeah.
Okay,
Oh, and we bought the Jay and Silent Bob reboot. We watched
Yeah,
that too.
we did. We watched that
out.
too.
Yep.
I'll buy that.
We bought both of those.
Which one do you like better?
I mean, both for different reasons. Obviously, Kevin Smith.
And don't spoil Jay and Silent Bob because I'm gonna watch that shit.
I won't. Although you have to watch the end credits. Robert Kirkman's in it in the end credits.
Like his name or
That's
No.
no. I remember I told you he was gonna be in it.
Yeah, but I mean, it's not till the end credits.
That's when he shows up.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Fair enough.
but it's like he acted here. He was like, somebody's asking him a Walking Dead question. He's like, I don't fucking know. He's like, is that a convention? Parasite. I don't want to dive too much into it because you don't know what it's really about. Good movie. Good movie.
Worth the best picture.
What else did we watch that was nominated for best
Marriage
picture?
Story.
We watched Marriage Story
I'd
and
watch was 19.
Once Upon a Time in Hollywood.
Yep.
Which one's better?
Parasite was good, man.
Better than Once Upon a Time.
I think so. I wasn't too impressed by Once Upon a Time in Hollywood.
There was a movie that came out recently that I wanted to watch. It's kind of like almost like a Meg movie, you know. But I think it was called Flood, and it was like
the alligator one.
Yeah, it's like the city
was
floods
called,
and there's alligators cruising around
It
eating
wasn't
people.
called Flood. It was called. Because Brian wanted to go see it, and he's like, "Let's go see it. Let's go see it."
Dude, it looks.
Can you look that up? But no, the basic synopsis of Parasite is it's a Korean movie, and its family is really, 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 really poor, like really poor, and it's a mom, a dad, a son, and a daughter, and the son's like, I don't know, college age.
Crawl.
Thank you.
Yeah.
It's called Crawl.
I've heard of that.
And the daughter was in like high school, so kid's friend is a tutor for this rich family, and he's going away to college, so he offers, hey, I'll put in a word for you if you want to interview for them to be the rich family's English teacher for their daughter. So he gets the job as a tutor for the daughter, and then gets his sister hired as an art tutor for the son.
Art therapist.
And then basically they take over the entire rich family's like service industry, like the housemaid, the driver, and for this rich family, and it goes from there. But I mean, it has a lot to do with income equality and how poor people handle things, but it's worth a watch, man.
That won like the big.
It won Best Director,
Writing?
Best Picture, Best Foreign Film, and Best Writing.
Yeah,
It wasn't Best Screenplay because Taika won it.
Taika won that.
and cinematography went to 1917.
Yes, we watched the whole Oscars
Did you?
from beginning to end.
I heard nobody did.
We did.
Well, ratings. No host, right?
Uh-huh.
No.
There's some pretty like Eminem playing the 8 Mile song was great.
Did he?
Oh yeah, and it was doing all like the best songs from the years, and then the music starts playing for it, like the orchestra plays it at the beginning, and he comes out and he does the whole performance because he won it 18 years ago and he didn't show up to win his award.
Nice. And then Billie
Yeah, that song
Eilish-
came out 18 years ago.
Billie Eilish performed, and she
Yeah,
wasn't born
Beatles
18
song.
years ago.
Yeah. Well, no, she's 18 now.
Who got snubbed?
Luke Perry.
Yeah,
Um,
and the one from Adam Sandler movie, the kid.
yes,
Who-
but there's also they also. I mean, I don't know this, but there's also actors that aren't part of the Academy,
Right, I've heard that too. That's why I thought those two probably were. They're out of the guild.
like Kobe Bryant. But Kobe Bryant won an Oscar.
Yeah, so I think he was in the guild.
Speaking of that, Jesus, man, we haven't talked about that since it happened.
Dude.
No, we haven't
Yeah.
talked about that on here.
Oh,
Broke my heart, man.
That was fucked.
When I actually so all I kept seeing was article after article after article about him. And then I actually read one of the articles and I was like, fuck, dude. They found him with apparently his daughter was still in his arms and shit. And it just
I don't know if that's accurate.
no, because they incinerated.
they were
They
charred, of course, but
exploded.
Well, yeah, because they were going 100 miles per hour into a mountainside.
It was some
Well, they
news
dropped
article.
2,000 feet per second. I think they said, or maybe it was 200 feet per second. They wouldn't have been that high.
It was probably 200 feet
but
per
still,
second.
200 feet per second. You're,
yeah.
quick drop with a sudden stop. If you were following it as it was happening, they thought all 4 of his daughters were on it. When they reported that all 4 of his daughters were on the helicopter.
A lot
at
of
one point.
misreporting, I heard.
Well, the people want to be the first out.
Yeah.
Well, when TMZ is reporting everything first.
Well,
Yeah.
they have them, but Brian texted me. He's like, "Can you believe this is happening?" And I assumed Trump had a heart attack because Brian's texting me, and I'm like,
Wishful
oh.
thinking.
yeah.
And I'm like, "Holy shit!" That hit the world, not just here. That was
Yeah. I heard TMZ got a little verbal lecture from city officials, we don't announce who died until
They have to notify the families first.
Yeah, but
I guess TMZ was actually
apologetic.
no, they had contacted the NBA and I think her before they released the information.
Yeah, before the family was contacted, they asked, "How do you feel about your husband's death?"
No,
They probably reached out to
she hasn't
publicists.
complained about it.
Yeah.
You think if they would have said, "Hey, how do you feel about your husband dying?" They would have.
I think she might be a little more overwhelmed with that.
I think they brought it
They
to her
probably
attention.
contacted the publicist because there's people for contact for media. It's not like you just call up the wife and say, "Hey, how's it
That's
going?"
probably
so. That's
true.
probably how she found out. Was
Yeah, but she was going to find out.
I'm sure she
No,
found out pretty soon after they took off and the
Yeah.
plane crashed because
Like-
I'm.
hey, I was reporting all 4 of your daughters are on the helicopter.
She probably had some of her daughters with her, so that
Yeah.
probably.
So I wonder if I hope that's all fucking fake news.
I can't. And then the fact that like there was a guy that they reported was on it, so his family thought he had died, but he wasn't on the helicopter. It was a pretty big tragedy.
It was a mad dash to find out who was on the helicopter, and they're gonna have a record of who actually boarded.
Did you see them like showing guys playing that night, like their faces while they were trying to hold it together while they were playing on? Because that was like everybody's favorite player.
I thought they canceled a bunch of
They
games.
did, but there were games already like happening as it was breaking, and they were just showing guys like bawling on the court.
Yeah, I didn't actually watch any of that. But
Oh, it was bad. It was bad.
I didn't hear about it the whole day Sunday. I hadn't been on the internet, I guess.
I was out doing some shopping, and Brian texted me.
Phoebe said, like, she was reading Facebook. Some guy named, she mispronounced
Kobe?
Yeah, I think she said, like, Kobe Bryant. Or, I don't know how she pronounced his last name. Like, apparently he died.
And you're like, who the fuck is that?
She said I was doing something. I was like, and she kept on saying, like, some player, I guess. Some good. I was like, what do I care? Your brother said something rip about him on Facebook. It's like, what's his name? Kobe fucking Bryant? Are you fucking kidding me?
Like, everybody knows him. Like, I don't watch basketball that much, but just
Kobe.
Like, Shaq and Kobe were the only two basketball people I cared about growing up. Like, I mean, I didn't give a shit about it. I don't watch basketball very much.
But there's like those
But the Lakers
handful
are
of household basketball players' names.
Well, there's
Obviously.
handhold like athletes in general that you
like
are
everybody
aware
knows
of.
LeBron. Like,
Yeah.
everybody knows
100%.
LeBron.
Even Olympic
Do you
athletes.
know who Kawhi Leonard is?
I heard the name.
Okay,
I couldn't pick him out of lineup. How
He's
about
an
that?
SDSU.
But
Best player
Gone
in
pro.
basketball right now. Anyways,
All the basketball fans are like, you fucking idiots.
but that's like, would you know who Mike Trout was if he died?
I know of him. I don't know if I could pick him out of a lineup. He's on my
I
team.
could.
I have a
That
stock
dude is
photo.
fucking huge.
Mike Trout?
Yes.
You know, he's only like, what, 6 feet
He
tall,
looks
5'11"?
like he's wide.
Yeah, he's a solid. He's the best baseball player of the. I mean, he might end up going down as the best baseball player to ever play the game,
I had him for a season.
and he's playing right now. That's like crazy. I mean, he's fucking
Have you guys ever seen that basketball player that looks just like Charlie Day?
no.
No.
Oh my God!
Is
There's
he
a
a Russian
basketball
Charlie
player.
Day?
He is. It's Charlie Day's twin, and he's a professional basketball player. Let me see. I'll try to pull it up.
But I mean, there are players like everybody knows Tom Brady, everybody knows Michael Jordan, everybody knows Derek Jeter. Like,
Yeah.
But with I think with Kobe, because he grew up in Italy and he spoke all these different languages and he traveled the world, did all this stuff, that he was seen as like just big. And the fact that he was doing so much stuff in retirement too, and he just fucking got cut short.
Did you like the muckraking of all his?
Past transgressions.
Yeah, I guess do you call them allegations at a point if they were dropped?
They weren't dropped. They settled out of court, didn't they?
What do you call them then?
Well, I guess they are dropped, but it was settled. I mean,
It was a non-disclosure agreement signed.
I'm
I don't
sure.
know. But I think it's funny. I mean, I know a lot of
you
people.
could think that's a horrible situation and still think that a person isn't defined by a single act as well. I mean,
Yeah,
I don't know. It's a slippery. It's a tough situation to be in
I can't remember
because he was both of those things.
Yeah, I can't remember who said it. Someone of his friends said, "Well, you had 16 years to bring it up, and now that the day he's dead, I don't think now's the time to do that." So
I mean, the fact that I don't like diving into this, but it's a situation that he thought was consensual that ended up not being. That he tried to.
right, that's how it was.
Oh yeah, that looks just like him.
Let me see it.
Yeah, that
I
he
know that's
tried
how it was
to
portrayed.
not fix, but
see
what word am I looking for?
It's the man of destiny proposition that just because somebody does something bad, they will forego the bad thing to focus on the good things.
No, that's not what I'm talking about either. I'm talking about when somebody feels remorse and tries to change themselves to better everyone. He opened. He donated a lot and did a lot of work for women. Like I'm saying, he tried to change himself because he knew that he did something awful.
He tried to make amends.
It's not even making amends. I mean, I think it's obviously it's a bad situation, but he tried to. I'm not trying to make light of it. I'm just trying to say that he tried to. He did. So
I don't
much,
know enough about the topic because I really didn't follow the case.
I didn't either, but he tried to. Well, I mean, I've read about it since then.
Atone?
Yeah,
Yeah, basically, yeah. That'd be close to the word I'm looking for.
It's hard for me to have an opinion on that because I really don't
know all
know
the
the
details
specifics
either.
of the case. I don't know what happened.
I remember it being lampooned like on the Chappelle Show back in the day, and that's how I remember it. Who's that comedian you may hear on the podcast? Who's the amazing racist guy?
Oh, Ari Shaffir.
Did you see him talk about Kobe?
I did, and as much as I like Ari Shaffir,
That was out of-
it was very poor taste. But
Right?
he is just. I'm not defending what he said in any way, shape, or form. However, he has always had very like crude, fucked up. Like
That's
he
an
just says
extreme
shit like
viewpoint.
I
that.
can't remember what it was, but I
And
read it at the
Basically
time.
said, "Oh, good, that fucking rapist is dead. I
Yeah.
celebrate the day."
Yeah, some
More or
just BS like that, and yeah, I definitely don't back anything that he says. But as a comedian, I like some of his stand up. But yeah, that was really, really fucking bad. And I was like, you suck for saying something like that.
Everybody has to draw their own line on what they find acceptable and not acceptable. That's
Agreed.
how the world works, right? I wanted to kind of, God, why am I going to dive down this hole? I shouldn't. I'll save it for another
Put in
episode.
your back pocket.
I'll put it in my back pocket. It's
Yes.
I don't want to dive down that.
You have 5 minutes.
So is there anything you guys want to drop before I talk about what's coming up?
I was going to tell you guys a story. I haven't been on the podcast since before Christmas, but something happened on Christmas Eve that I wanted to.
I'm sure we've already talked about it.
Talk about on the
Is
podcast.
it about you getting hammered?
It's about
on
me
here.
meeting my girlfriend's dad.
Okay.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
So I don't know.
Yeah,
if-
recant it.
Okay, so
Quickly.
on Christmas Eve, I finally met my girlfriend's dad, and I had been really anticipating it, and had a
I bet
little
that
bit
dude
of,
could kick your ass.
oh, dude, yeah, dude, those little paws, dude. He's like 5 nothing, just little hardworking man his whole life, but he doesn't speak a lick of English, so I was super super nervous about trying to communicate with him because I don't speak any Spanish at all. And so I meet him, I shake his hand.
That's not what I heard. That's not what I heard.
What?
That you don't speak any Spanish.
Okay.
Oh, I speak some Spanish, but it's all bad stuff that you shouldn't say to your girlfriend's parents. And so, I was anticipating the handshake because I thought he was going to rip my freaking hand off, but he didn't. It was a good firm handshake, and we're at the house, and the mom's cooking in the kitchen, and they're like, oh, come sit at the table. We're all sitting at the table talking and stuff. And after like mingling for 15, 20 minutes, the dad, I had brought 3 beers to drink while I was there, and they were all like bourbon aged stouts, like 13% beers, like really, really good beers.
Fancy pants, pretentious beers.
Yeah.
There you go.
And so I already started drinking one, and the dad busts out these 2 big ass bottles of tequila. Okay. I don't drink hard
Did
alcohol.
he pour him in like glasses, like full glasses?
No, he was
Okay.
pouring shots for him and
Oh.
I. And
Excellent.
there was one was full and the other one was like halfway. And he opened the new bottle. And so he starts pouring shots for us. I'm like, all right, cool. I probably shouldn't be mixing, tequila with these thick ass beers. But you know what? I'm going to do it anyways. Keep in mind, I haven't eaten anything the entire day because one of the things she told me was be ready to eat. We're eating food the whole time. And I was like, all right, cool.
Smart.
You had a few rules too.
Okay, yeah. So there was rules. She told me not to do 3 things.
Which you
I
ended up doing all of them, right?
I did all 3
No
of those
doubt.
things, yeah. And so the first thing was she told me not to drink with her dad. Well, me being the person that I am, I didn't want him to think I was a bitch. You know what I mean? I didn't want him to think that I was just some gringo coming in there, I didn't want to be a bitch. I had to show him I wasn't, that I could keep up, And so he keeps pouring shots, and before
Did
I
he
know
throw
it,
up?
No, I didn't throw up either. So he, I'm like a handful of shots deep, and I'm like, I'm not really feeling it yet. And,
I have multiple messages from that night on my phone
oh, no,
from your girlfriend.
Apparently,
He even messaged Lacey.
me?
Yeah.
Were we talking about, I don't remember. Probably talking about beer or something like that. I don't know. Oh, God.
That's
awesome.
There was pictures and everything.
Oh, nice.
Did you not? You don't know this?
So apparently I sent Snapchat to my friend Adam, and I don't remember sending those Snapchats.
Was it Snapchat?
Yep.
Nice.
Can you go back and see the Snapchat?
Nope.
No, because they're gone within 24 hours. And so she told me not to drink with her dad. She kept telling me to stop, but he kept pouring them. And I was like, okay, I'm just going to keep going because he keeps pouring them or whatever. And the other thing she told me not to do was don't try to speak Spanish to my parents. Okay. So
He'll just laugh at you.
yeah, he was trying so hard to like communicate with me. So in my frame of mind, after having countless shots of tequila, I was like, hey, I should try really hard to speak Spanish to him and communicate with him. Bad idea. I think I said something stupid that just made me look even worse. And so the last two things I remember of the night was me looking at my watch and seeing that it was 8:30 and I was already blackout drunk. Okay. And that was when they finally busted out the food. Okay. The last thing that I remember was the last rule, was don't decline food. Okay. It's a big deal in the Mexican household not to decline food, I guess. And so they finally bust out the tamales. And so I literally the last thing I remember taking like 2 or 3 bites of a tamale and having to like pass it up because I was like, oh my God, if I take one more bite, I'm going to fucking throw up everywhere. And so that's the last thing I remember. The next thing I know, I woke up in my girlfriend's bed, which nobody else was in the room. And I'm like, oh my God, I'm not supposed to be here. She always made a big deal about no one's ever allowed to stay the night at the house. And so
Did they all put you in there?
I don't know. At this point,
He got there somehow.
Yeah, I got there somehow. And so I wake up and then immediately I feel the hangover. It was arguably could be the worst hangover I've ever had in my life.
They get worse as you get older.
But
Yep.
for sure the second worst hangover I've ever had in my life. And so I'm like, oh my God, I can't believe I feel this horrible. I shouldn't even be here. I need to go walk out into the living room and see if I'm either dead or if I'm in the clear. And I walk out in the living room, and when the fresh air hit my face, I started pouring sweat, like dripping
Alcohol
from my
sweat.
chin,
Yum.
wet. And I walk out, and they're like, "Oh my God, are you okay?" And the mom's like, "Come sit at the table." And I go sit at the table. I'm like shaking.
Withdrawals.
Yeah. And they're like, okay, well, here's some water. Here's, they gave me some squirt. And she's like, what's wrong? Are you okay? What's wrong with you? And she gives me like paper towels. I'm like wiping off my face.
Bloody Mary time.
And I'm like, oh, maybe I'm wearing a thermal. Maybe it's because I'm hot. And I have to go change my shirt, and I come back, and it was a little bit better, but I ate a little bit of soup or something like that. And then the dad comes out. And he goes, oh, what's going down? Hey, uno mas? And I'm like, no mas, dude. I'm about to fucking
This is
die.
Christmas morning, right?
This is Christmas morning. And then
Well, we didn't see him till like 3:30, 4 o'clock in the afternoon.
and I still felt horrible. Not as bad as I did then, but and then they wanted to open presents, dude. And I'm just like not having it at all. Like,
Can I just go dig a grave and
How many
sleep
times
in
have you
there?
been over since?
a handful of times. So I still haven't asked. So I told Corey that we're probably planning on moving out together and getting an apartment. And so I
You
still
guys
have
gonna
to
live
ask.
in your cars?
Not me and him and Sonia.
And that would be cool. And so I still have to ask him if she can move out with me. So what I've been doing is I've gone over there like 4 or 5 times in the past like
I'm gonna meet
month or
this guy
two.
soon.
Super cash.
And so I need to. We also went out to dinner the other night, which was really good.
She asked if she could bring her dad to one of Parker's baseball games.
Oh, that'd be cool. I'm sure he'd love it. He's a really nice man.
I guess she was saying that he played baseball when he was younger.
Yeah.
And
yeah,
I'm
he's all
assuming
about it.
since she didn't play, right?
I don't think so, no.
And his son has autism, correct?
Yeah, their middle brother, and then Johan, he didn't play sports.
So I'm just assuming that he'd be down to watch a little
yeah,
game.
absolutely.
I gave her the schedule.
Cool. What was I saying? Oh yeah. So I haven't asked him yet, right? And so I'm super nervous. And every time I've seen him, he really likes me, which is awesome. And I just feel like he knows because the mom knows. And so I'm like, well, if the mom knows,
He's probably just waiting for you to ask
probably
permission.
fucking knows, right?
Right.
And so I still have to ask him, but I have a plan, right? I'm making it more casual, me going over there, so it doesn't seem weird, me just popping up at the house one day and be like, hey, can I steal your daughter? Like,
Are you asking while she's there, or are you asking without her there?
I'm going to ask while she's there.
Well, he needs a translator.
Yeah.
The mom speaks English, doesn't she?
Yeah, and then the youngest brother could probably translate pretty good, but I want her to be there so he doesn't,
Kill you?
murder me, because I have heard some stories of him almost killing people before.
Of course.
I'm gonna buy a bottle of Don Julio 1942, which is like a really expensive bottle. Well, I would say really expensive, like $140.
I would say that's expensive.
Yeah.
You should honestly talk to Uncle Mike about tequila and see if there's anything that he can recommend that's before you buy that.
I will do that too, but I have had a couple like older Hispanic gentlemen say this is what you need to buy when you ask that type
That's
of
your
question.
offering.
Yeah, and so I've kind of taken that advice, but that is I should talk to Uncle Mike. I haven't formulated what I'm going to say or how I'm going to ask, but I want to give him that bottle, and
I really care about your daughter, and I'd like to ask your permission for her to move out with me.
Yeah, exactly. And then he's probably going to want to make me drink some of that with him.
Eat before you go over when you do that.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And
for sure.
hydrate all
Yeah.
day long.
Yeah, because and I don't even drink hard alcohol like that, man. He almost killed me.
I had 3 old fashions and half a glass of whiskey on Saturday.
Yeah, you did.
I had a bad
You were
day.
pretty happy.
I had a bad day.
I got pretty saucy on the day of the Super Bowl. I had a handful of people over, and we were all drinking beer and having a good old time.
Were you drinking beer?
Me?
Yeah.
No.
I don't think you guys weren't there, right?
No, we were at a parent's house.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, it was a good time though. I'd never had like a Super Bowl type of party, and so I had more beer than I knew what to do with, and I still have too much beer. And I'll drink I don't drink every day. I'll have like a beer every
I can tell.
couple days. Like that's about it. Y'all, you talking about my gut? I'm actually trying to be on a diet right now. Thank you.
Beer
very
doesn't
much.
help that.
I know, but that's like I haven't really been drinking soda lately. Like I've had a couple sodas in the past couple weeks, but there was a period of like a month where I didn't have any soda, and it was really tough.
Corey was just giving you the elevator eyes to see.
How many calories in that beer?
I don't know. Let's see.
250.
They usually don't have calories on beer.
Smart. Too many.
Not on this one.
They do
Some-
on light beers.
Yeah.
They do because they advertise
And they start drinking White Claw, man.
100 calories.
Ooh.
You know what? I've
Seltzer.
heard a lot of people drink White Claws because of that.
I've
Trulies too.
I've heard Trulies are better than White Claws.
They're okay.
I love beer, and I don't drink. I drink far less than you do, but I have been branching out to whiskey just to not feel so bloated.
Yeah, it doesn't say.
No, but speaking of alcohol, next week we are doing a Books and Brews episode that we haven't recorded in quite some time. We're going to be reading Resonant from Vault Comics.
Yay!
So we're going to be reading Mars Attacks from Dynamite Comics.
Nice.
Based on the movie?
No, there's several Mars Attacks comics. I don't want to say who writes them and does the artwork because I don't have them all written down right now. For both
to
of those.
be spoken
And
later.
I feel like if you just say one or the other, it's a disservice to the opposite person because it takes a
Agreed.
writer and an artist to make
Yeah.
a book.
So what are you eating and drinking?
We haven't decided yet.
Mm.
So I have some feelers out there. We'll see what happens. We were talking about maybe Made West because Katrina is one of her old coworkers owns Made West Brewing in Ventura, and they're available everywhere. But I actually like to stop into places and pick the stuff up. So
Yeah.
we'll
You can get
see.
a way better selection that way too.
Yeah. No, that's not necessarily true.
Normally.
I mean, they're a California brewer. They're available even in Target. So I mean,
There's plenty of beers at like Coronado that you can really only get there. Same with Alpine and
well, no, I'm not talking about that. I mean, I can go to Bevmo and have a better selection than going to one brewery. That's not what I'm talking about.
I thought you meant about the brewery
No,
specific
I just like
beer.
going into a brewery. Yes, you'll have more selection of that specific brewery's
Yeah,
beer.
that's what I meant.
Yes, I agree with you. Society started canning 3 different kinds of their beers.
Yeah, there's the liquor store across the street from my girlfriend's house has a great selection of craft beer, and I saw a couple
does she
Society
live?
beers there. She
Don't
lives-
say specifically.
Area.
Oh, I'm not gonna say.
Alcohol.
Okay.
Yeah, Alcohol.
Okay.
But
That's a large area.
they have. Never mind.
Yeah, don't give.
They have an
specifics.
Instagram that I follow. That's it.
Okay.
And
You
so
tell
I
me
see
later.
whenever they get like new beer and stuff, and they posted that they had a bunch of Society. Well, 2 or 3 Society beers there. I actually got this beer the other day. I was gonna bring that tonight. It's called a Morning Latte, and it's like a espresso stout, which is super good. It literally, instead of tasting like that coffee kind of flavor, it tastes like espresso, which I had never tasted. in a beer before.
We had the fall. Is it fall?
Yeah, fall brewing.
Fall brewing,
Mm-hmm.
and we had they were both made with Dark Horse coffee, but one was a blueberry coffee sour, which sounds terrible. Coffee and blueberry does not go together.
But you liked it?
It was pretty good.
Yeah, it was good.
And then I had a coffee milk stout that was pretty good. But I mean, it was $6 for a can. I'm not big on those kind of beers. That's probably what that was. $5.
I think it was like $14 for the 4-pack.
Yeah, I mean those are expensive beers. And
I have a beer in my fridge that's $25.
Can? Bottle.
Do you have I was gonna say, do you have $25 in your bank account?
I do have exactly $25.
Oh, Jesus. I don't miss those days.
I know. It took us a long time to get to this point where it's not that. But no, so we got a Books and Brews episode coming up, and things have been weird with work, which is part of the reason we haven't been recording as much.
Oh, life. Well, not just work.
We're back in baseball season.
Already?
Yeah. Parker prize practices Tuesday, Wednesday,
Yeah,
Thursday,
scrimmage
Saturday.
tomorrow.
When did that season last end?
His season?
Like baseball. It isn't
May?
like that long ago you were saying.
He was in basketball, and then he had fall ball before that. So, no, when you have children, you don't have a life anymore.
It seemed like the last time, like, one of these last podcasts you talked about his last at-bat. That didn't seem that long ago. Like, legitimately.
I might have been talking about that again. Because in his last at bat of the regular season, he won the championship game.
Or like the party. Yeah, you've talked about the party a couple times that you guys had.
I thought he struck out.
That was during fall
ball. He couldn't hit the ball the last 3 games.
Okay.
because he got hit.
So,
He has the same coach again, and we're having the Little League party at the
so
end
that's
of the
why
year.
it seems so close in my mind. Cause
Yeah.
I was like, it's legit.
It's one long sports season. That is my life.
Mhm. Yeah.
I didn't do that to my parents. The karate.
Have you kept up on UFC at all?
Yeah.
So did you hear any of the debacle about the Diego Sanchez fight?
Yeah.
Dude, that was some BS, dude. He lost that fight. Like, for sure. He would have lost that fight.
Well, he probably knew, and he took the easy way out with the illegal. But I heard that I saw that he got blasted and it cut his eye open.
Oh, yeah, that was pretty messed up.
But it was a legal knee, so.
Have you heard anything or read any articles about, like, his coach?
Well, I read what he said about his coach and, like, a huge.
How he has this, like, weird, like, crap, I can't even think of it right now. I read an article about how he doesn't really have any mixed martial arts experience, and he's like oh my god, why can't I think of the word? Like
That's Tyson
like
Fury's
a self-awareness coach. And so he's telling him to like
a self-help guru.
Yeah, dude. And
I don't think Tyson Fury's head coach has any boxing experience.
He's a good life coach.
But I think he's a super young guy too, and I don't quote me on this. I was listening to him in an interview, and he like picked him because he's picked up on some girl at the bar or something. Like,
was it the one that he got rid of? Because he just recently got rid of one of his main coaches,
Tyson Fury. It was the guy he was using for his last Deontay Wilder fight.
Then he has a different coach now. He like very recently, within the past.
Why he
months.
fights Saturday? Why would you get a new coach this close to your?
Don't ask me. I'm not
That's not
Tyson
smart.
Fury.
That's not smart. That's not smart.
The guy couldn't pick up a chick at a bar,
Yeah.
so he had to drop him.
Is there a better name for a boxer than Tyson Fury though?
He was named after Mike Tyson.
I'm aware.
That's a sweet last name though.
Fury.
Yeah.
Yeah, pretty cool.
Yeah. So we got to go.
Yes, you do. Mister, I have to edit this, and I don't want to do it.
That's the only thing I'm going to have to edit out of the episode, so I appreciate you saying it right at the very, very end.
You're welcome.
I was purposely following this entire conversation to see what I would have to edit, and I didn't have to make any cuts until the very end.
Well, I made it easy for you.
You weren't following it just to listen to everybody talk?
No, I was actually extra listening to see if anybody was going to say anything, because it's usually you.
Can you cut out some of my stuttering when I was trying to think of
Nope.
lifestyle coach or whatever?
No.
I had a brain fart too. You're fine.
Coach.
Yeah, thanks, asshole. We're out.